Chapter 11. Helping the Living. Jack Harper was riding high on the wave of his reinstated TikTok account and the surge in his popularity. The overwhelming support from his fans and the media attention had not only restored his platform but had also strengthened his resolve to use his unique position in the afterlife to help others. As he reflected on his journey, Jack realized that he could offer something even more profound than his usual adventures and discoveries: the chance for his viewers to reconnect with their deceased loved ones. Jack knew that this endeavor would be both emotionally challenging and deeply rewarding. He decided to dedicate a series of streams to helping his fans communicate with the spirits of their loved ones. The idea came to him one quiet evening as he walked through the serene, luminescent park in Soul City. The park, with its ethereal beauty and tranquil atmosphere, seemed the perfect place to start this new chapter of his journey. The next day, Jack made the announcement during a live stream. His heart pounded with a mix of excitement and nervousness as he addressed his viewers. "Hey everyone," Jack began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I've been thinking a lot about how we can use this platform to do more good. I know many of you have lost loved ones, and it would mean the world to you to have a chance to communicate with them. I want to help make that happen." The chat exploded with heartfelt messages and stories from viewers who had lost family members and friends. "Thank you, Jack. I've been wanting to talk to my mom again. This means so much to us. You're amazing, Jack. Thank you for doing this." Jack felt a lump in his throat as he read the messages. He knew that this was the right path. He set up a special email account where viewers could send their requests, asking them to include details about their loved ones and any specific messages or questions they wanted to convey. The response was immediate and overwhelming, with hundreds of emails pouring in. Over the next few days, Jack carefully read through the requests, feeling a deep sense of responsibility and compassion. He selected a few to start with, focusing on those that seemed particularly urgent or heartfelt. One of the first requests that caught his eye was from a young woman named Emily, who had recently lost her father. Her email was filled with love and longing, and she included a photograph of her father, along with a few cherished memories. "Dear Jack," Emily wrote, "my father passed away suddenly a few months ago, and I never got to say goodbye. He was my hero, and I miss him every day. If there's any way you can help me connect with him, I would be eternally grateful." Jack felt a lump in his throat as he read Emily's words. He knew he had to try his best to help her. He set up his equipment and began the stream, explaining Emily's story to his viewers. "Today, we're going to try to help Emily connect with her father," Jack said, holding up the photograph. "I've been thinking a lot about how we can make this happen, and I believe that with the right focus and intention, we can reach him." Jack closed his eyes and took a deep breath, focusing on the image of Emily's father and the love that connected them. He called upon the spirits of Soul City, asking for their assistance in reaching out to him. As he concentrated, he felt a gentle presence, a warm and comforting energy that filled the room. "Emily," Jack said softly, "I can feel your father's presence. He's here with us." The chat was filled with supportive messages and encouragement. "We believe in you, Jack. Emily, your dad is with you. This is so beautiful." Jack continued to focus, allowing the energy to guide him. He felt a sense of peace and love emanating from the spirit, and he knew it was Emily's father. "He wants you to know that he's proud of you," Jack said, his voice filled with emotion. "He's watching over you, and he's always with you in spirit. He loves you very much." Tears filled Emily's eyes as she watched the stream, feeling a connection to her father that she had thought was lost forever. She typed a heartfelt message in the chat, expressing her gratitude and love. "Thank you, Jack. This means the world to me. I feel so much closer to my dad now." Jack smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "You're welcome, Emily. Your father's love for you is very strong, and it will always be with you." Encouraged by the success of his first attempt, Jack continued to help more viewers connect with their deceased loved ones. Each session was unique, filled with its own emotions and challenges, but the underlying theme was always love and connection. Jack felt honored to be able to facilitate these moments and to bring comfort to those who were grieving. One particularly memorable session involved a man named David, who had lost his wife, Sarah, to a long battle with illness. David's email was filled with sorrow and regret, as he had been unable to be with Sarah during her final moments due to the pandemic. "Dear Jack," David wrote, "my wife Sarah passed away last year, and I never got to say goodbye. I've been carrying this weight in my heart ever since. If there's any way you can help me connect with her, it would mean everything to me." Jack was deeply moved by David's story and felt a strong desire to help him find some peace. He prepared for the session with the same care and intention, feeling the weight of David's grief and the importance of the connection he sought. "Today, we're going to help David connect with his wife, Sarah," Jack said during the stream. "It's never easy to lose someone you love, especially when you can't be there with them in their final moments. Let's try to bring some comfort to David and help him find the closure he needs." Jack focused on Sarah's image and the love that bound her and David together. As he reached out to the spirits of Soul City, he felt a delicate, yet powerful presence. It was as if Sarah's spirit was waiting, eager to reconnect with her beloved husband. "David," Jack said gently, "I can feel Sarah's presence. She's here with us." The chat was filled with words of support and encouragement. "David, she's with you. We're here for you, David. Jack, you're doing something incredible. Jack continued to focus, allowing the energy to guide him. He felt a wave of love and tenderness from Sarah's spirit, and he knew that she had been waiting for this moment to communicate with David. Sarah wants you to know that she loves you and that she understands why you couldn't be there, Jack said, his voice trembling with emotion. She wants you to let go of the guilt and to remember the beautiful moments you shared. She's at peace and she wants you to find peace too. David watched the stream with tears streaming down his face. He typed a message in the chat, his words filled with love and gratitude. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Sarah. I love you and I miss you every day. Jack felt a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. David, your love for Sarah is eternal. She'll always be with you in spirit, and she wants you to live your life to the fullest, knowing that she's watching over you. As Jack continued to help more viewers connect with their deceased loved ones, his streams became a source of healing and comfort for many. The sense of community and support grew stronger, and Jack knew that he was making a real difference in the lives of those who were grieving. The response to his efforts was overwhelmingly positive, and Jack received countless messages of thanks and appreciation. He knew that this was the path he was meant to follow, using his unique abilities to bring comfort and closure to those who needed it most. With each session, Jack felt a deeper connection to the afterlife and the spirits that resided there. He knew that his journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that he had the power to make a difference and to bring peace to those who were struggling. Chapter 12. A Soul's Plea. Jack Harper had settled into a new rhythm after the incredible experience of reconnecting his viewers with their deceased loved ones. His streams were more popular than ever, and his community was growing stronger with each passing day. Despite the joy of helping so many people, Jack knew there were still countless souls in Soul City who needed assistance. One evening, as he was wrapping up a stream, he encountered a ghost that would profoundly change his mission. Jack had been exploring the outskirts of Soul City, an area filled with crumbling ruins and overgrown vegetation. The eerie atmosphere was thick with the whispers of long-forgotten souls. Jack's viewers were captivated by the haunting beauty of the place, and he felt a sense of excitement as he delved deeper into the mysteries of this forgotten part of the city. Looks like we've got something interesting up ahead, Jack said to his viewers, moving cautiously toward a faint, flickering light that appeared in the distance. As Jack approached, the light began to take shape, revealing the ghostly figure of a young woman. She was dressed in tattered clothes, and her eyes were filled with sorrow and desperation. She seemed to be waiting for him, her form wavering as if she was struggling to remain present. Hello, Jack said gently, addressing the spirit. Can I help you? The ghost looked at Jack with a desperate expression. Please, you have to help me. I'm trapped here. I need to move on, but I don't know how. Jack's heart went out to her. He could feel the weight of her despair and the urgency in her plea. He knew he couldn't ignore her request. Of course, Jack replied softly. Tell me what happened. How can I help you move on? The ghostly woman introduced herself as Clara. She explained that she had been wandering Soul City for what felt like an eternity, unable to find peace. She recounted her life and the circumstances of her death, revealing that she had died suddenly and tragically, leaving unresolved issues that kept her bound to this realm. I was supposed to meet my fiancé the night I died, Clara said, her voice trembling. We were going to start our new life together, but I never made it. He never knew what happened to me. I can't move on until I find him and say goodbye. Jack listened intently, feeling the depth of Clara's pain. He knew that helping her would be a complex and emotional journey, but he was determined to do whatever it took. We'll find him, Clara, Jack promised. Together, we'll help you find the closure you need. The chat was filled with messages of support and encouragement. We believe in you, Jack. Clara, you're not alone. Let's help her find peace. Determined to help Clara, Jack began his quest to find her lost fiancé. He started by gathering more information about Clara's life and the events leading up to her death. Clara guided Jack to the places she had frequented in life, hoping that they might offer clues. Their first stop was an old, abandoned theater where Clara had once worked as a performer. The theater, though in ruins, still held echoes of its former grandeur. Jack could almost hear the applause and see the ghostly figures of past audiences. This was my favorite place, Clara said wistfully. I used to perform here every night. Maybe someone here remembers what happened to me. Jack explored the theater, searching for any lingering spirits who might have known Clara. He called out, asking for anyone who could help. After a few moments, a faint, elderly ghost appeared, a former caretaker of the theater. Hello, Jack greeted the ghost. I'm Jack Harper, and this is Clara. She used to perform here. Can you tell us anything about what happened to her? The caretaker nodded slowly, his expression sad. I remember Clara well. She was one of the best performers we had. The night she died, there was a terrible storm. She left in a hurry, saying she had something important to do. That was the last time anyone saw her. Clara's form wavered as she listened, the pain of that night still fresh in her memory. I was on my way to meet my fiancé, she said, her voice barely a whisper. But I never made it. Jack thanked the caretaker and continued the search, guided by Clara's memories. They visited the spot where Clara had intended to meet her fiancé, a quaint café now in ruins. As Jack sifted through the debris, he found an old, weathered journal that had survived the years. This might be something, Jack said, carefully opening the journal. The pages were filled with notes and letters, some of which mentioned Clara and her fiancé, Thomas. The entries revealed a deep and enduring love, but also the anguish Thomas felt after Clara's sudden disappearance. Jack read a particularly poignant entry aloud. "Clara, my love, where are you? I've searched everywhere, but you're gone. I can't bear this pain. I'll keep looking for you, always." Tears welled in Clara's eyes as she listened. "Thomas never stopped looking for me," she said, her voice choked with emotion. "I had to find him." Encouraged by the discovery, Jack continued to follow the clues, visiting places where Thomas might have gone in search of Clara. They asked other spirits if they had seen him, piecing together a trail that led them through the winding streets of Soul City. Finally, after days of searching, they reached a serene, hidden garden where Thomas had often gone to find solace. There, sitting on a bench beneath a blooming tree, was the ghost of a man who radiated a profound sense of longing and loss. "Thomas," Jack called out gently, approaching the figure. The ghost looked up, his eyes filled with hope and recognition. "Clara?" he whispered, standing as he saw her beside Jack. "Thomas!" Clara cried, rushing to him. The two spirits embraced, their forms shimmering with the intensity of their emotions. "I never stopped looking for you," Thomas said, his voice breaking. "I thought I'd lost you forever." "I'm here now," Clara replied, her tears mingling with his. "I'm sorry I couldn't reach you sooner. I've been trapped, but Jack helped me find you." Jack watched the reunion, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The chat was filled with messages of joy and relief. "Finally together. This is so beautiful. Thank you, Jack, for making this happen." As Clara and Thomas held each other, their forms began to glow with a radiant light. Jack knew that they were finally at peace, ready to move on together. "Thank you, Jack," Clara said, turning to him. "You've given us the greatest gift. We can finally be together." Thomas nodded in agreement. "We're eternally grateful. We can now find the peace we've been searching for." With a final, grateful look, Clara and Thomas began to fade, their spirits ascending to a higher plane. Jack felt a profound sense of accomplishment, knowing that he had helped them find the closure they needed. As he ended the stream, Jack addressed his viewers, his voice filled with emotion. "Thank you all for being a part of this journey. We've helped Clara and Thomas find each other and move on. This is what it's all about, bringing peace to those who need it. Let's continue to make a difference, one soul at a time." The chat was filled with supportive messages and encouragement. "We're with you, Jack. Thank you for everything you do. Let's keep helping others." Jack knew that this was just the beginning. There were many more souls in Soul City who needed help, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the support of his community and the strength of his convictions, Jack Harper was ready to continue his mission, bringing peace and closure to those who needed it most. Chapter 13. Cold Case Collaboration. After the emotionally charged experience of helping Clara and Thomas find peace, Jack Harper's influence in both the living world and the afterlife had grown considerably. His streams had become a powerful force for good, bringing solace to many and uncovering hidden truths. Yet, as he wandered through the spectral streets of Soul City, Jack sensed that his journey was far from over. Little did he know that he was about to be drawn into a chilling and complex murder case. One evening, while exploring the shadowy alleyways of Soul City, Jack felt an unusual chill in the air. The alley was eerily silent, save for the faint whispers of long-forgotten souls. Jack's viewers were on edge, sensing that something significant was about to unfold. "There's something different about this place," Jack murmured, his voice hushed. "I can feel it in the air." As he ventured deeper into the alley, a flickering light appeared in the distance. Jack approached cautiously, his heart pounding with anticipation. The light gradually took the form of a ghostly figure, a young man with a tormented expression, his clothes tattered and stained. "Hello," Jack called out gently, addressing the spirit. "My name is Jack Harper. Can I help you?" The ghost stepped into the light, revealing a face etched with fear and desperation. "Please," he implored, his voice trembling. "I need your help. I was murdered, and my killer is still out there, living a happy life. I can't move on until justice is served." Jack felt a surge of empathy for the spirit. The pain and injustice the young man had endured were palpable, and Jack knew he couldn't ignore his plea. "Of course," Jack replied softly. "Tell me what happened. I'll do everything I can to help you find justice." The ghost introduced himself as Michael. He recounted the harrowing events leading up to his death, describing a night filled with fear and betrayal. Michael had been lured into the alley under false pretenses and brutally attacked by someone he thought he could trust. His killer had escaped without a trace, leaving Michael's family devastated and his spirit trapped in a cycle of despair. "My killer is a wealthy man," Michael said, his voice tinged with anger. "He thought he could get away with it because of his money and influence. He's still living his life, while I'm stuck here, unable to move on." Jack's heart ached for Michael. He felt a deep sense of responsibility to uncover the truth and bring Michael's killer to justice. "We'll get to the bottom of this, Michael," Jack promised, determination shining in his eyes. "Together, we'll find the evidence needed to bring your killer to justice." The chat was filled with messages of support and encouragement. "We're with you, Jack. Michael, you deserve justice. Let's solve this case together." Determined to help, Jack began his quest to gather evidence about Michael's murder. He started by learning more about Michael's life and the events leading up to his death. Michael guided Jack to various places he had frequented, hoping they might offer clues. Their first stop was an upscale bar where Michael had spent his last evening. The bar, though luxurious, felt cold and impersonal. Jack could almost feel the lingering tension of that fateful night. "This is where it all started," Michael said, his voice hollow. "I met a friend here, someone I thought I could trust. But he led me into a trap." Jack explored the bar, looking for any lingering spirits who might have witnessed the events of that night. He called out, asking for anyone who could help. After a few moments, the ghost of a bartender appeared, his expression grim. "Hello," Jack greeted the ghost. "I'm Jack Harper, and this is Michael. He was here the night he died. Can you tell us anything about what happened?" The bartender nodded slowly, his eyes filled with sorrow. "I remember Michael. He was a good kid. That night, he was with a man named Derek, a regular here. They left together, and I never saw Michael again." Michael's form wavered as he listened, the pain of that night still fresh in his memory. "Derek was my friend," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "I trusted him." Jack thanked the bartender and continued the search, guided by Michael's memories. They visited the spot where Michael had been lured and attacked, a dark and desolate alley. As Jack sifted through the details of Michael's account, he noticed a pattern that suggested a deeper, more sinister conspiracy. Encouraged by the discovery, Jack shared the new information with his viewers, urging them to look into Derek's background and any possible connections he might have. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Jack's viewers began digging through public records, searching for any clues that might have been overlooked. Some reached out to their contacts in law enforcement, while others scoured online databases for any mention of Michael's case. One particularly dedicated viewer, a retired detective named Linda, took a keen interest in the case. She reached out to Jack with some intriguing findings. "Jack, I've been looking into Michael's case, and I think there are some discrepancies in the original investigation," Linda explained during a private call. "There are a few people who were never properly questioned, and some evidence that might have been overlooked." Jack shared Linda's insights with his audience, encouraging them to keep digging and to follow up on the new leads. As more information came to light, a pattern began to emerge. It became clear that Michael's death was not a random act of violence but a calculated murder tied to a wealthy and powerful individual named Thomas Harrington. Harrington was a prominent businessman with a reputation for ruthlessness. His influence extended far and wide, making him nearly untouchable. Jack knew that confronting someone of Harrington's stature would be dangerous, but he was determined to seek justice for Michael. With the help of his viewers, Jack identified several key pieces of evidence that linked Harrington to Michael's murder. They uncovered financial records, witness testimonies, and even a security camera footage that had been overlooked. Jack meticulously documented everything, preparing to present the evidence to the authorities. "Today, we're going to present our findings to the police," Jack announced during a stream. "We have enough evidence to reopen Michael's case and bring his killer to justice." The chat was filled with messages of support and anticipation. "Go get him, Jack. Justice for Michael. Let's see Harrington pay for his crimes." Jack compiled all the evidence into a comprehensive report and submitted it to the police. He also shared the information on his stream, ensuring that his viewers were fully informed about the progress of the case. To Jack's surprise, the police took immediate action. The weight of the evidence was undeniable, and the public pressure from Jack's streams was immense. The authorities began to re-examine the case, piecing together the narrative that had been buried for so long. As the investigation progressed, Jack continued to stream updates, keeping his audience engaged and informed. The breakthrough came when the police, acting on the evidence Jack had provided, obtained a warrant to search a property owned by Thomas Harrington. There, buried in a secluded area of the estate, they found Michael's remains, just as he had described. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, both in the living world and the afterlife. Michael's family, who had long sought answers, finally found a measure of peace. Harrington was arrested and charged with murder, his powerful facade shattered by the relentless pursuit of justice. As Jack ended the stream, he addressed his viewers, his voice filled with emotion. "Thank you all for your incredible support and dedication. Together, we've helped Michael find justice and brought peace to his spirit. This is just the beginning. Let's continue to uncover the truth and bring justice to those who need it." The chat was filled with messages of triumph and solidarity. "We did it. Justice for Michael. Thank you, Jack, for everything." Chapter 13. Cold Case Collaboration. The momentum from Jack Harper's stream had reached a tipping point. The police, armed with the comprehensive evidence Jack had compiled with the help of his viewers, moved quickly. The weight of public scrutiny and the undeniable proof presented left them no choice but to act decisively. Jack watched anxiously as the investigation unfolded. Every step was critical, and the stakes were incredibly high. The authorities wasted no time in preparing their case, and within hours, they had secured a warrant to search Thomas Harrington's property. The evidence they discovered there was the final nail in the coffin. Under the cover of night, a team of officers, led by Detective Sarah Lawson, descended on Harrington's sprawling estate. The grandiose mansion, usually a symbol of Harrington's wealth and untouchable status, now stood vulnerable under the flashing red and blue lights of police vehicles. Jack's viewers were glued to their screens as he live-streamed updates, capturing the tense atmosphere. "Stay with us, everyone," Jack said, his voice steady but filled with anticipation. "This is it. The police are moving in. Justice for Michael is within reach." The officers methodically searched the property, guided by the detailed information Jack had provided. They combed through every room, every hidden corner, looking for the irrefutable proof they needed. Finally, in a remote part of the estate, buried deep beneath a grove of ancient trees, they found Michael's remains. The discovery was a grim but necessary step toward justice. Meanwhile, Thomas Harrington, blissfully unaware of the unfolding events, was brought to the police station. He was in a state of shock, his carefully curated world beginning to crumble around him. As the reality of his situation set in, Harrington's demeanor shifted from confident arrogance to panicked confusion. "Mr. Harrington, you're under arrest for the murder of Michael Donovan," Detective Lawson said, her voice firm and unwavering. "You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law." Harrington was escorted into the interrogation room, his mind racing. He couldn't believe that his meticulously constructed facade was about to be shattered. Inside the room, he found himself face to face with a wall of evidence, documents, photographs, witness testimonies, all meticulously gathered by Jack and his viewers. Detective Lawson began the interrogation, laying out the evidence piece by piece. Each revelation was like a hammer blow, and Harrington's composure began to crack. The weight of his guilt became unbearable. "Mr. Harrington," Lawson said, leaning forward, "we have overwhelming evidence against you. Witnesses have come forward, and we found the remains of Michael Donovan on your property. It's over." Harrington's eyes darted around the room, his mind scrambling for a way out. But there was none. The evidence was irrefutable, and the relentless pursuit of justice had cornered him. Finally, the dam broke, and Harrington began to speak, his voice a mixture of anger and resignation. "Fine," he spat, his shoulders slumping. "I did it. Michael was getting too close to something he shouldn't have. He found out about some of my, less legal business dealings. I had to shut him up. Permanently." The confession, recorded and documented, was the final piece of the puzzle. Harrington's words sealed his fate. He was formally charged with murder and a slew of other crimes related to his illegal activities. The once untouchable tycoon was now facing the full force of the law. As news of the confession spread, Jack's stream exploded with reactions. His viewers, who had been instrumental in solving the case, shared a collective sense of victory and relief. "We did it. Justice for Michael. Thank you, Jack, and everyone who helped." Jack, overwhelmed with emotion, took a moment to address his viewers. "Thank you all for your incredible support and dedication. Together, we've helped bring a murderer to justice and given Michael's family the closure they deserve. This is what our community is all about, making a difference and seeking justice." With Harrington's arrest and confession, the case was officially closed. The legal system moved swiftly, ensuring that Harrington would be held accountable for his crimes. Meanwhile, Jack turned his attention back to Michael, whose spirit had been anxiously awaiting the outcome. "Michael," Jack said during a special stream dedicated to the resolution of the case, "we've done it. Harrington has confessed, and he will face justice. You can finally find peace." Michael's ghost appeared on the stream, his form radiant with relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Jack," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "Thank you for everything you've done. I can finally move on, knowing that justice has been served." As Michael spoke, a soft, glowing light enveloped him. Jack and his viewers watched in awe as the light grew brighter, signifying that Michael's spirit was ready to move on to the next realm. It was a moment of profound beauty and closure. "I'm ready," Michael said, a peaceful smile on his face. "Thank you all. I'll never forget this." With those final words, Michael's spirit ascended, the light carrying him away to his next journey. Jack felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that they had not only solved a murder but had also helped a lost soul find peace. As the stream ended, Jack took a moment to reflect on the incredible journey they had all been on. The case had been a testament to the power of community and the importance of seeking justice, no matter how difficult the path. "Thank you, everyone," Jack said, his voice filled with gratitude. "This has been an incredible journey, and I couldn't have done it without your support. Let's continue to make a difference, one step at a time. Together, we can achieve anything." The chat was filled with messages of support and unity. "We're with you, Jack. On to the next adventure. Thank you for everything you do." Chapter 14. Rising Influence. After successfully solving Michael Donovan's cold case and helping his spirit find peace, Jack Harper's reputation in both the living world and Soul City soared. His dedication to justice and his unique ability to bridge the gap between life and death earned him immense respect. Spirits who once wandered aimlessly now sought Jack's help, recognizing his genuine desire to assist them in finding closure. Soul City, with its ethereal beauty and complex web of spectral inhabitants, became a bustling center of activity, all focused on Jack's remarkable talents. One sunny afternoon in Soul City, where the sky was a perpetual twilight of purples and golds, Jack strolled through the bustling marketplace. The marketplace was a vibrant, sprawling area filled with spectral vendors selling wares that glowed softly in the twilight. The air was filled with the sounds of spectral chatter and the hum of ethereal music. Jack felt at ease among the stalls of luminous fruits and shimmering fabrics, knowing that this was where he belonged. As Jack moved through the marketplace, he was approached by a group of spirits. They were led by an elderly ghost named Agnes, a respected community leader known for her wisdom and kindness. Agnes floated gracefully, her form solid yet slightly translucent, her eyes reflecting the accumulated wisdom of her long existence. "Jack Harper," Agnes said, her voice gentle yet strong. "You have done so much for our community. We wanted to thank you for your tireless efforts and to offer our support. We've formed a council to help guide those in need, and we would be honored if you would join us." Jack was deeply moved by the offer. He had never sought recognition, but the idea of being part of a council that could further help the spirits of Soul City resonated with him. He could see the hope and trust in the eyes of the spirits gathered around Agnes. "Thank you, Agnes," Jack replied, his voice filled with gratitude. "I would be honored to join the council. Together, we can do even more to help those in need." Agnes smiled warmly. "We are pleased to hear that, Jack. Your compassion and dedication have touched many lives, both living and deceased. With your help, we can make Soul City a place of healing and growth." The council meetings were held in an ancient, grand hall that seemed to pulse with the energy of countless spirits. The walls were lined with intricate carvings depicting scenes of the afterlife, and the air was filled with a soft, ethereal glow. Jack felt a sense of awe and responsibility as he took his place among the council members. The council consisted of spirits from various backgrounds, each bringing their own experiences and insights to the table. There was Leonora, a former healer whose gentle demeanor and deep knowledge of spiritual well-being made her invaluable. Beside her sat Marcus, a stoic former soldier who provided strength and stability to the group. Rounding out the council were Eliza, a brilliant scholar, and Rufus, a jovial merchant known for his resourcefulness. Jack quickly adapted to his new role, contributing his unique perspective and ideas. The council's first order of business was to address the plight of wandering souls, spirits who were lost, confused, and unable to move on. Jack proposed organizing community events that could provide these souls with the support they needed. "Many of these spirits are stuck because they feel alone and misunderstood," Jack explained during one meeting. "If we can create a sense of community and offer them guidance, we can help them find peace." The council agreed, and plans were set in motion to host a series of gatherings in Soul City. These events, called ethereal gatherings, would offer workshops, support groups, and social activities designed to help wandering souls find their way. Jack took an active role in organizing the gatherings, drawing on his experiences to create a welcoming and supportive environment. The first ethereal gathering was held in a spacious, open area near the heart of Soul City. Spirits of all kinds gathered, their forms shimmering in the twilight. Jack and the council members moved through the crowd, greeting attendees and offering words of encouragement. There were workshops on understanding one's past, sessions on meditation and healing, and social activities that encouraged interaction and connection. As the gathering progressed, Jack noticed a spirit standing apart from the crowd. The spirit was that of a young woman, her form flickering with uncertainty. Jack approached her, sensing her need for support. "Hello," Jack said gently. "My name is Jack Harper. How can I help you?" The young woman looked at Jack, her eyes filled with a mixture of hope and fear. "I've been lost for so long," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "I don't know how to move on." Jack nodded, understanding her pain. "You're not alone," he said reassuringly. "We're here to help. What's your name?" "Isabella," she replied, her form becoming more stable as she spoke. "I've been wandering for what feels like an eternity, searching for something I can't remember." Jack guided Isabella to one of the support groups, where she could share her story and receive guidance from others who had experienced similar struggles. Throughout the gathering, Jack continued to move among the attendees, offering support and encouragement. The sense of community and connection was palpable, and Jack felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The ethereal gathering was a resounding success. Spirits who had once felt isolated and lost now found themselves part of a supportive community. Many expressed their gratitude to Jack and the council, and Jack could see the positive impact their efforts were having. As the sun dipped lower in the twilight sky, casting a golden glow over Soul City, Jack stood with Agnes and the other council members, looking out over the gathering. The air was filled with a sense of hope and renewal. "Jack," Agnes said, her voice filled with pride, "you have brought so much to our community. Your efforts have touched many lives, and we are grateful for your dedication." Jack smiled, feeling a deep sense of belonging. "Thank you, Agnes. I couldn't have done this without all of you. Together, we can continue to make a difference." The success of the ethereal gathering solidified Jack's position as a respected leader in Soul City. Spirits who had once wandered aimlessly now looked to him for guidance, knowing that he genuinely cared about their well-being. Jack's influence continued to grow, and he felt a renewed sense of purpose in his mission to bring peace and closure to those in need. As Jack walked through Soul City that evening, he reflected on the incredible journey that had brought him to this point. From his accidental fall and the initial shock of finding himself in the afterlife, to the friendships he had forged and the lives he had touched, Jack knew that his work was far from over. There were still many souls in need of help, and many stories waiting to be uncovered. Jack Harper's influence and dedication in Soul City had not gone unnoticed. His efforts to help wandering spirits and bring justice to the unjustly departed earned him a special invitation from the Reapers, the respected and powerful guardians of the afterlife. One day, while Jack was organizing another ethereal gathering, a tall, imposing figure in dark robes approached him. "Jack Harper," the figure said, his voice echoing with authority. "I am Thanatos, a Reaper. Your work in Soul City has been commendable. We believe you have the potential to become one of us. We would like to invite you to begin your training as a Soul Reaper." Jack was taken aback by the offer. Becoming a Soul Reaper was a great honor, but it also came with immense responsibility. He knew it would require dedication and the willingness to face new challenges. "Thank you, Thanatos," Jack replied, his voice filled with determination. "I am honored by your offer. I accept the invitation and will do my best to uphold the duties of a Reaper." The following day, Jack began his training under the guidance of Thanatos and other experienced Reapers. His first lesson was in understanding the balance between life and death, and the importance of guiding souls to their rightful place in the afterlife. He learned about the various realms within Soul City and the greater afterlife, each with its own unique challenges and responsibilities. Thanatos led Jack to the Reaper's training grounds, a vast expanse filled with ethereal structures and training areas. The environment was both awe-inspiring and intimidating, with towering statues of past Reapers and shimmering portals to different realms. "Your training will be rigorous," Thanatos explained, "but it is necessary to ensure that you are prepared for the duties of a Reaper. You will learn to navigate the afterlife, guide lost souls, and protect the balance between worlds." Jack's first training session focused on the basics of soul guidance. He practiced helping spirits transition from one realm to another, ensuring they found peace and closure. Thanatos emphasized the importance of empathy and understanding, teaching Jack how to connect with each soul on a personal level. "Every soul has a story," Thanatos said. "It is your duty to listen and provide the guidance they need. Only then can they move on and find peace." Jack found himself in a small, tranquil clearing surrounded by ancient trees that seemed to hum with energy. Thanatos gestured for him to sit, and Jack did so, feeling the powerful presence of the spirits around him. "Close your eyes," Thanatos instructed. "Feel the energy of the souls around you. Each one has a unique vibration, a story that needs to be told." Jack closed his eyes and took a deep breath, letting the sounds and sensations of the clearing wash over him. He focused on the subtle vibrations, each one telling a different story of a soul's journey. He felt a connection to the spirits around him, their emotions and experiences intertwining with his own. "Now," Thanatos continued, "reach out with your mind. Find a soul that needs your help and guide it towards the light." Jack extended his consciousness, searching for a soul in need. He felt a faint, hesitant presence, a young girl, lost and afraid. Her name was Lily, and she had been wandering for what felt like an eternity, unable to find her way home. "Lily," Jack called out gently. "I'm here to help you. Follow my voice." He felt a tremor of fear from Lily, but also a glimmer of hope. Slowly, her presence grew stronger, and Jack guided her towards the light that surrounded the clearing. "That's it, Lily," Jack encouraged. "You're almost there." With a final push of energy, Lily's spirit emerged from the shadows, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. Jack opened his eyes to see her standing before him, her form clear and stable. "Thank you," Lily whispered, her eyes filled with gratitude. "I can finally go home." Jack watched as Lily's spirit ascended, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. He had successfully guided a soul to peace, fulfilling the first step of his training. "Well done," Thanatos said, his voice filled with pride. "You have shown great empathy and skill. Remember, every soul you guide is a testament to your dedication as a Reaper." As Jack progressed through his training, he was introduced to more advanced skills. He learned to wield the Reaper's scythe, a powerful tool that could cut through the barriers between realms. The scythe required precision and control, and Jack spent hours honing his technique under the watchful eyes of the Reapers. The training ground was a vast, open space filled with various obstacles and targets. Jack stood in the center, holding the scythe, its blade gleaming with an otherworldly light. Thanatos stood beside him, ready to instruct. "The scythe is an extension of your will," Thanatos explained. "It can cut through the fabric of reality, allowing you to open portals and guide souls. But it requires focus and control. Watch." Thanatos demonstrated, swinging the scythe in a fluid motion. A shimmering portal appeared before him, revealing a glimpse of another realm. With a flick of his wrist, the portal closed, leaving no trace behind. "Now, you try," Thanatos instructed, stepping back. Jack took a deep breath and focused his energy. He swung the scythe, feeling the power flow through him. A portal began to form, but it wavered and flickered, unstable. Focus, Jack, Thanatos urged. Control your intent. Jack steadied himself and tried again, this time with more precision. The portal solidified, revealing a serene landscape bathed in soft light. Jack felt a surge of triumph as he maintained the portal's stability. Excellent, Thanatos praised. You are learning quickly. Continue to practice, and you will master the scythe. Jack spent the next few weeks immersed in his training, each day bringing new challenges and opportunities for growth. He learned to navigate the intricate pathways of the afterlife, using his scythe to open portals and guide souls through the maze-like structure of Soul City. The Reapers taught him how to sense the presence of lost spirits and identify those in need of assistance. One particularly challenging lesson involved learning to confront malevolent entities. These dark spirits, known as wraiths, sought to disrupt the balance of the afterlife and preyed on vulnerable souls. Jack had to master the art of banishment, using his scythe and his inner strength to repel these dangerous entities. Focus on your intent, Thanatos instructed during a training session. The scythe is an extension of your will. Use it to channel your energy and drive away the darkness. Jack faced off against a wraith in a controlled environment, feeling the intense, malevolent energy as it tried to overwhelm him. With Thanatos' guidance, he focused his intent and swung the scythe, creating a powerful wave of energy that dissipated the wraith. Well done, Thanatos said, nodding approvingly. Remember, a Reaper must be both a protector and a guide. You have shown great potential. As Jack's skills improved, he began to accompany experienced Reapers on their missions. He witnessed firsthand the challenges they faced and the dedication required to fulfill their duties. These experiences deepened his understanding of the afterlife and the critical role Reapers played in maintaining its balance. One mission involved helping a spirit who had become trapped in a cycle of despair. The spirit, a man named Edgar, had been unable to move on due to unresolved guilt and sorrow. Jack and a Reaper named Serafina approached Edgar, offering their assistance. Edgar, Jack said gently, we're here to help you find peace. Tell us what's troubling you. Edgar's form flickered with pain as he recounted his story. He had made mistakes in his life that he deeply regretted, and his guilt had kept him bound to the mortal realm. You must forgive yourself, Serafina said softly. Only then can you move on. With Jack's encouragement and Serafina's guidance, Edgar confronted his past and found the strength to forgive himself. As his spirit began to glow with a warm, radiant light, Jack felt a profound sense of accomplishment. Thank you, Edgar said, his voice filled with gratitude. I can finally find peace. Jack continued to train diligently, mastering the various skills required to be a Reaper. He learned to communicate with otherworldly beings, navigate the complex realms of the afterlife, and provide guidance to spirits in need. His reputation grew, and he earned the respect of the Reapers and the spirits he helped. As Jack approached the completion of his training, Thanatos called him to a final evaluation. The test would determine if Jack was ready to take on the full responsibilities of a Reaper. Jack, Thanatos said, his voice solemn, you have shown great dedication and skill. This final test will challenge everything you've learned. Are you ready? Jack nodded, his determination unwavering. I'm ready. The test involved a series of challenges that required Jack to use all of his skills and knowledge. He had to navigate a labyrinth filled with traps and illusions, confront a powerful wraith, and guide a lost soul to the afterlife. Each task tested his resolve and abilities, pushing him to his limits. As Jack successfully completed each challenge, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The final task involved guiding a spirit through a turbulent portal, ensuring they reached the next realm safely. With precise control and unwavering focus, Jack accomplished the task, earning the approval of Thanatos and the other Reapers. Congratulations, Jack, Thanatos said, his voice filled with pride. You have completed your training and proven yourself worthy. Welcome to the ranks of the Reapers. Jack felt a surge of pride and gratitude. He had come a long way since his accidental fall into Soul City, and now, he stood as a fully trained Reaper, ready to fulfill his duties. Jack Harper's journey as a trainee Soul Reaper was intense and transformative. Each day brought new challenges, pushing him to hone his abilities and expand his understanding of the afterlife. Under the watchful guidance of Thanatos and other seasoned Reapers, Jack's skills flourished, and his confidence grew. He was no longer just an explorer or a mediator, he was becoming a protector and guide for lost souls. The Reapers' training grounds, a vast and mystical area filled with ethereal structures and training equipment, became Jack's second home. The grounds were designed to simulate various afterlife scenarios, allowing trainees to practice their skills in a controlled environment. Jack spent countless hours in this space, perfecting his techniques and learning to master the Reaper's scythe. One particularly grueling session involved navigating a labyrinth filled with illusions and traps. The labyrinth was designed to test a Reaper's ability to maintain focus and clarity under pressure. Jack entered the maze with determination, his scythe glowing softly in his hand. Remember, Jack, Thanatos' voice echoed in his mind. Trust your instincts and remain calm. The labyrinth is as much a test of your mind as it is of your physical abilities. As Jack moved through the winding corridors, he encountered various illusions, some benign, others terrifying. The walls seemed to shift and change, creating an ever-evolving puzzle. Jack took deep breaths, focusing on the energy of the labyrinth and using his scythe to dispel the illusions that threatened to overwhelm him. At one point, Jack found himself in a room filled with mirrors, each reflecting a different version of himself. The reflections began to speak, their voices a cacophony of doubts and fears. "You're not strong enough," one reflection sneered. "You'll never be a true reaper," another taunted. Jack felt a surge of anxiety but quickly regained his composure. He raised his scythe and swung it in a wide arc, shattering the mirrors and silencing the voices. The illusion dissipated, revealing the true path forward. With renewed determination, Jack navigated the rest of the labyrinth, overcoming each challenge with skill and precision. When he finally emerged, Thanatos and the other Reapers greeted him with approving nods. "Well done, Jack," Thanatos said, his voice filled with pride. "You have shown great resilience and focus. The labyrinth is a formidable test, and you have passed it with flying colors." Jack's training continued, each session more challenging and rewarding than the last. He learned to sense the presence of lost spirits from great distances, using his heightened awareness to locate those in need. This skill proved invaluable during missions, allowing Jack to identify and assist souls that others might overlook. One day, Thanatos introduced Jack to the art of banishing malevolent entities. These dark spirits, known as wraiths, sought to disrupt the balance of the afterlife and preyed on vulnerable souls. Banishing them required immense concentration and inner strength. Jack found himself in a dimly lit training arena, facing off against a particularly aggressive wraith. The air was thick with malevolent energy, and the wraith's form shifted and twisted, its eyes glowing with hatred. "Focus your intent," Thanatos instructed from the sidelines. "The scythe is an extension of your will. Use it to channel your energy and drive away the darkness." Jack took a deep breath and centered himself. He raised the scythe, feeling the power coursing through it, and swung it in a precise, controlled motion. A wave of energy emanated from the blade, striking the wraith and causing it to recoil. The wraith screeched in fury, launching itself at Jack with renewed ferocity. Jack stood his ground, his mind clear and focused. He swung the scythe again, this time with even greater force. The energy wave struck the wraith, enveloping it in a bright light. The wraith's form began to disintegrate, its dark energy dissipating into the air. "Excellent, Jack," Thanatos said, his voice filled with approval. "You have mastered the art of banishment. Remember, a Reaper must be both a protector and a guide. You have shown great potential in both roles." As Jack's skills improved, he began to explore the darker, more treacherous areas outside of Soul City. These regions were home to malevolent spirits and dangerous entities, places where few dared to venture. With his newfound abilities, Jack felt confident in his ability to navigate these areas and defend himself. One evening, as the twilight sky cast long shadows over Soul City, Jack prepared for an expedition into one such dark region. He had heard rumors of a place called the Abyssal Rift, a desolate area filled with lost souls and wraiths. The rift was said to be a place of great danger, but also of great opportunity for those brave enough to explore it. Jack gathered his equipment, ensuring that his scythe was in perfect condition. He felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension as he set out, his heart pounding with anticipation. The journey to the Abyssal Rift was arduous, taking Jack through twisted forests and across desolate plains. The air grew colder and more oppressive the closer he got, and the presence of malevolent spirits became palpable. Jack remained vigilant, his scythe ready to defend against any threats. As he approached the rift, Jack was struck by the stark contrast to the vibrant beauty of Soul City. The landscape was bleak and barren, the ground cracked and lifeless. The air was filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional wail of a lost soul. Jack took a deep breath and stepped into the rift, his senses heightened. He could feel the presence of numerous spirits, some lost and confused, others malevolent and dangerous. He moved cautiously, his eyes scanning the area for any signs of trouble. Before long, Jack encountered a group of wraiths, their dark forms moving with predatory grace. The wraiths sensed his presence and turned towards him, their eyes glowing with malice. Jack tightened his grip on the scythe, ready to defend himself. The wraiths attacked with blinding speed, their claws reaching for Jack. He swung the scythe in a wide arc, creating a barrier of energy that repelled the attackers. The wraiths hissed in frustration, regrouping for another assault. Jack remained calm, his mind focused. He channeled his energy through the scythe, unleashing a powerful wave that struck the wraiths with precision. The malevolent spirits began to disintegrate, their dark energy dissipating into the air. As the last wraith vanished, Jack took a moment to catch his breath. The encounter had been intense, but he had emerged victorious. He continued deeper into the rift, encountering more lost souls and malevolent entities. With each confrontation, his skills grew sharper, his confidence stronger. During his exploration, Jack came across a lost soul named Ethan. Ethan had been wandering the rift for what felt like an eternity, unable to find his way back to the light. Jack approached him, offering his assistance. "Ethan," Jack said gently, "I'm here to help you. Follow me, and I'll guide you back to Soul City." Ethan looked at Jack with a mixture of hope and fear. "I've been lost for so long," he said, his voice trembling. "I don't know if I can find my way back." "You're not alone," Jack reassured him. "I'll be with you every step of the way." With Jack's guidance, Ethan began the journey back to Soul City. The path was treacherous, filled with obstacles and malevolent spirits, but Jack remained vigilant, protecting Ethan from harm. As they neared Soul City, Ethan's form grew brighter, his spirit stabilizing. "Thank you," Ethan said, his voice filled with gratitude. "I can finally find peace." Jack watched as Ethan's spirit ascended, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. His training had prepared him for these moments, allowing him to make a real difference in the lives of lost souls. Chapter 16. The Dark District. The sun was setting over Soul City, casting long shadows that seemed to dance and shift with a life of their own. Jack Harper, now a fully trained Soul Reaper, stood at the edge of the Dark District, a place that even the bravest spirits avoided. This area was notorious for its treacherous paths and malevolent entities, but it was also a place where many lost and vengeful souls wandered, unable to find peace. It was Jack's first solo mission as a Reaper, and he felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. The entrance to the Dark District was marked by a towering archway made of twisted, blackened wood, covered in strange, glowing symbols. Jack adjusted his grip on his Reaper's scythe, feeling the familiar weight of the weapon in his hands. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for the task ahead, and stepped through the archway. The atmosphere changed immediately. The air was colder, and a heavy, oppressive feeling settled over him. The streets were narrow and winding, with buildings that seemed to lean in ominously, their windows like dark, watching eyes. Shadows flickered and moved, and the whispers of restless spirits filled the air. Jack moved cautiously, his senses alert to any sign of danger. He knew that his primary objective was to guide and transcend the vengeful souls trapped in this district, helping them find peace and move on. His training had prepared him for this, but the reality of the Dark District was more daunting than he had imagined. As he walked, Jack encountered his first lost soul, a man dressed in old-fashioned clothes, his face etched with sorrow. The man's form flickered and wavered, showing his instability. "Hello," Jack said gently, approaching the spirit. "My name is Jack Harper. I'm here to help you find peace." The man looked up, his eyes filled with a mix of hope and despair. "I've been wandering here for so long," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "I don't know how to move on." Jack extended his hand, his scythe glowing softly. "Let me guide you. Follow me, and I'll help you transcend to a better place." The spirit hesitated for a moment, then reached out and took Jack's hand. Jack closed his eyes and focused, channeling his energy through the scythe. A warm, radiant light enveloped the spirit, and the man's form began to stabilize. Slowly, he started to glow with a soft, ethereal light. "Thank you," the spirit whispered, his voice filled with gratitude. "I can finally find peace." With a final burst of light, the spirit ascended, leaving behind a sense of tranquility. Jack felt a deep sense of accomplishment. This was the first of many souls he would help tonight. He continued through the district, encountering more lost spirits along the way. Each one had a unique story, a burden they carried that prevented them from moving on. Jack listened to their tales, offering comfort and guidance, and helping them transcend. It was a demanding task, but Jack felt a profound sense of fulfillment with each soul he helped. As the night wore on, Jack found himself drawn to a particular house at the end of a narrow, twisted street. The house exuded a dark aura, its windows like black voids, and the air around it thick with malevolent energy. Jack felt a chill run down his spine as he approached. "This place is different," Jack muttered to himself, gripping his scythe tightly. "Something powerful is here." He took a deep breath and stepped into the house. The air inside was even colder, and the darkness seemed to press in from all sides. Jack could hear faint whispers, angry and tormented, echoing through the halls. The sense of malevolence was almost overwhelming. Jack moved cautiously, his eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of movement. As he ventured deeper into the house, he encountered more spirits, but these were different from the ones he had helped before. Their forms were twisted with anger and hatred, their eyes glowing with a dark, fiery light. "Who dares enter our domain?" a voice hissed from the darkness. "I am Jack Harper," he replied, his voice steady. "I'm here to help you find peace." "Peace?" another voice laughed bitterly. "There is no peace for us. Only revenge." Jack tightened his grip on the scythe, ready for whatever might come. "Revenge will not bring you peace," he said calmly. "Let me help you transcend." The spirits surged towards him, their forms crackling with dark energy. Jack swung his scythe, creating a barrier of light that repelled the spirits. They recoiled, hissing in fury, but did not retreat. "We will not be denied," one spirit screamed, launching itself at Jack with terrifying speed. Jack braced himself, swinging the scythe with precision. The blade cut through the spirit's dark energy, creating a burst of light that dissipated the malevolent force. The spirit's form wavered, then began to stabilize, its anger fading. "You can find peace," Jack said softly. "Let go of your anger." The spirit hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Help us," it whispered, its voice trembling. "We don't want to be like this anymore." Jack guided the spirit through the process of transcendence, channeling his energy through the scythe. The spirit began to glow with a soft, warm light, its anger and hatred melting away. One by one, the other spirits followed suit, allowing Jack to help them find peace. As the last spirit ascended, the oppressive darkness in the house began to lift. The air grew warmer, and the whispers of torment faded into silence. Jack felt a wave of relief wash over him. He had succeeded in helping the vengeful souls, but he knew there was more to this house than met the eye. Jack continued to explore the house, feeling that there were still secrets hidden within its walls. He made his way to the basement, where the sense of malevolence was strongest. The stairs creaked under his weight, and the air grew colder with each step. At the bottom of the stairs, Jack found a heavy, iron door covered in strange symbols. The door radiated a dark energy, and Jack could feel the presence of something powerful behind it. This is it, Jack thought, steeling himself for whatever lay beyond. The source of the darkness. He took a deep breath and pushed the door open. The room beyond was filled with a thick, black mist that seemed to pulse with malevolent energy. At the center of the room stood a dark figure, its eyes glowing with an intense, fiery light. "Who dares disturb my domain?" the figure growled, its voice echoing through the room. "I am Jack Harper," Jack replied, his voice steady. "I'm here to help you find peace." "Peace?" the figure laughed, a sound that sent chills down Jack's spine. "There is no peace for me. Only darkness and revenge." Jack raised his scythe, ready for a confrontation. "You can find peace," he said firmly. "Let go of your anger and hatred. Let me help you transcend." The figure lunged at Jack, its form crackling with dark energy. Jack swung the scythe, creating a barrier of light that repelled the attack. The figure recoiled, but its eyes blazed with fury. "You will not stop me," it screamed, launching another assault. Jack focused all his energy, channeling it through the scythe. He swung the blade with precision, striking the figure's dark energy and creating a burst of light. The figure's form wavered, then began to stabilize, its anger fading. "You can find peace," Jack said softly. "Let go of your anger." The figure hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Help me," it whispered, its voice trembling. "I don't want to be like this anymore." Jack guided the figure through the process of transcendence, channeling his energy through the scythe. The figure began to glow with a soft, warm light, its anger and hatred melting away. As the figure ascended, the oppressive darkness in the basement began to lift. The black mist dissipated, and the room grew warmer. Jack felt a wave of relief wash over him. He had succeeded in helping the powerful spirit, and the source of the darkness had been banished. Exhausted but triumphant, Jack made his way back up the stairs and out of the house. The Dark District was still a place of danger and mystery, but he had brought a measure of peace to its tormented inhabitants. Jack Harper emerged from the Dark District, the weight of his first solo mission as a Soul Reaper settling heavily on his shoulders. The oppressive atmosphere of the area had lifted, and the vengeful spirits he had encountered had found peace. Jack took a moment to catch his breath, feeling both exhausted and triumphant. His scythe, once a simple tool, now felt like an extension of his very being, a symbol of his growing power and responsibility. As he made his way back to the Reaper's headquarters, the twilight of Soul City enveloped him in its familiar, comforting glow. The streets were quieter now, and the spirits he passed seemed to radiate a sense of calm and gratitude. Jack's heart swelled with pride, knowing he had made a difference. The headquarters of the Reapers was an imposing structure, with tall spires that seemed to pierce the ever-present twilight sky. The building exuded a sense of ancient wisdom and power, its walls lined with intricate carvings that depicted the history of the Reapers and their noble mission. Jack stepped through the grand entrance, his footsteps echoing in the vast hall. Thanatos was waiting for him in the main chamber, his dark robes flowing around him like shadows. His stern expression softened slightly as he saw Jack approach. "Welcome back, Jack," Thanatos said, his voice carrying a note of approval. "How did your mission go?" Jack took a deep breath and began to recount his experiences in the Dark District. He described the oppressive atmosphere, the lost and vengeful souls he had encountered, and the powerful spirit that had been the source of the district's darkness. Thanatos listened intently, nodding occasionally as Jack spoke. "You did well, Jack," Thanatos said when Jack had finished. "The Dark District is a dangerous place, and you handled yourself with bravery and skill. You have brought peace to many tormented spirits, and for that, you should be proud." Jack felt a surge of gratitude and pride. "Thank you, Thanatos. It was a challenging mission, but I'm glad I could help." Thanatos placed a hand on Jack's shoulder. "You have earned a few days of rest. Take this time to recover and reflect on what you have learned. When you are ready, there will be more missions waiting for you." Jack nodded, feeling a wave of relief. The mission had taken a toll on him, both physically and emotionally, and the prospect of some time off was a welcome one. He thanked Thanatos and made his way out of the headquarters, his thoughts already turning to how he would spend his time off. As Jack walked through the streets of Soul City, he felt a growing excitement. He had been away from his live streaming community for some time, and he was eager to reconnect with his fans and share his experiences. His live streams had always been a source of joy and fulfillment, and he knew that his fans would be eager to hear about his adventures. Back at his residence, Jack set up his streaming equipment, ensuring everything was in perfect working order. He felt a familiar thrill as he prepared to go live, the anticipation of connecting with his audience filling him with energy. He activated the stream, and his face appeared on the screen, illuminated by the soft glow of his spectral lighting. "Hey everyone, it's Jack," he said, his voice filled with warmth and excitement. "I'm back from a challenging mission in the Dark District, and I've got a lot to share with you all." The chat exploded with messages of welcome and curiosity. "Welcome back, Jack, we missed you. Tell us all about it." Jack smiled, feeling a deep connection with his audience. He began to recount his experiences, describing the eerie atmosphere of the Dark District, the vengeful spirits he had encountered, and the powerful spirit that had been the source of the darkness. He spoke of the challenges he had faced and the triumphs he had achieved, his voice filled with passion and emotion. As he spoke, Jack could see the impact his words were having on his viewers. The chat was filled with messages of support and admiration. "That's incredible, Jack, you're so brave, thank you for all that you do." Jack felt a deep sense of fulfillment as he continued to share his story. He knew that his work as a Soul Reaper was important, but being able to connect with his audience and share his experiences added another layer of meaning to his mission. During the stream, Jack took the time to answer questions from his viewers. Many were curious about the specifics of his mission and the skills he had used to navigate the dangers of the Dark District. "How did you manage to banish those powerful spirits?" one viewer asked. Jack nodded, thinking back to the intense battles he had fought. "It was all about focus and control," he explained. "The scythe is an extension of my will, and I had to channel all my energy and intent through it to create a powerful enough force to banish the spirits. It took a lot of practice and concentration, but I knew I had to stay calm and focused." Another viewer asked about the ancient grimoire he had found in the Dark Aura House. Jack retrieved the book and held it up to the camera, its cover glowing faintly with runes. "This is a grimoire from the ancient order of Reapers," he said. "It contains lost knowledge and spells that could be incredibly valuable. I'm still studying it, but I believe it holds secrets that could help us understand more about the afterlife and our roles as Reapers." The chat buzzed with excitement at the revelation. "That's amazing, can't wait to learn more about it. Keep us updated on what you find." As the stream continued, Jack felt a renewed sense of connection and purpose. Sharing his experiences with his audience was not only fulfilling for him but also helped to spread awareness about the important work of the Reapers. His viewers were not just passive spectators, they were an integral part of his journey, offering support and encouragement every step of the way. After several hours of streaming, Jack wrapped up the session, thanking his viewers for their unwavering support. "Thank you all for joining me tonight," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. "Your support means the world to me. I'll keep you updated on my adventures and what I learned from the grimoire. Until next time, stay curious and stay connected." The chat filled with messages of appreciation and farewell. "Take care, Jack, can't wait for the next stream. Thank you for everything you do." As Jack ended the stream and powered down his equipment, he felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The break had been exactly what he needed, allowing him to reconnect with his audience and share his journey. He knew that the road ahead would be filled with challenges, but he felt ready to face them, knowing he had the support of his community. Jack spent the next few days reflecting on his experiences and studying the ancient grimoire. The book was filled with complex spells and incantations, many of which were beyond his current understanding. But with each page he turned, Jack felt a growing sense of curiosity and determination. He knew that the knowledge contained within the grimoire could unlock new abilities and insights that would help him in his role as a Reaper. In addition to his studies, Jack took the time to relax and recharge. He visited some of his favorite spots in Soul City, enjoying the beauty and tranquility of the afterlife. The city, with its ethereal glow and vibrant community, felt like home, and Jack was grateful for the opportunity to be part of such a unique and meaningful place. Jack Harper stood on the balcony of his residence in Soul City, the twilight sky casting a warm glow over the spectral landscape. The events of the past few months had been intense, filled with missions that tested his skills and courage as a Soul Reaper. Yet, amidst the chaos and danger, Jack had found hints of a larger mystery. Fragments of information, ancient texts, and cryptic symbols seemed to point to something far greater than the daily duties of guiding lost souls and banishing malevolent entities. Determined to uncover the truth, Jack immersed himself in research. His first step was to revisit the ancient grimoire he had found in the Dark District. The grimoire was filled with cryptic texts and symbols that hinted at powerful artifacts and long-forgotten secrets. Jack spent countless hours poring over its pages, trying to decipher the meanings hidden within. The grimoire spoke of an ancient order of Reapers, a group that had once wielded immense power and knowledge. It mentioned a powerful artifact known as the Heart of Eternity, said to hold the key to understanding the true nature of the afterlife. The more Jack read, the more he realized that this artifact could be the key to uncovering the mysteries that had eluded him. One evening, while studying a particularly complex passage, Jack felt a sudden surge of clarity. The text described a series of ancient symbols and rituals used by the early Reapers to harness the power of the Heart of Eternity. Jack quickly grabbed a notebook and began sketching the symbols, feeling a sense of urgency. These symbols, Jack muttered to himself, they must be connected to the locations of the artifacts. If I can find these symbols in Soul City, it might lead me to the heart of eternity. Determined to find more clues, Jack sought out the wisdom of the oldest and most knowledgeable spirits in Soul City. Agnes, the elderly ghost who had welcomed him to the Reaper's Council, was an invaluable resource. Her knowledge of the city's history and her deep understanding of the spiritual world provided Jack with new insights. One afternoon, Jack visited Agnes in her quaint, spectral garden. The garden was a peaceful oasis, filled with ethereal flowers that glowed softly in the twilight. Agnes sat on a stone bench, her eyes twinkling with wisdom as Jack approached. Agnes, I've been studying this ancient grimoire, Jack began, holding up the book. It mentions an artifact called the Heart of Eternity. Do you know anything about it? Agnes's expression grew thoughtful as she considered Jack's question. The Heart of Eternity, she said slowly, is indeed a powerful and ancient artifact. It is said to hold the secrets of the afterlife, containing knowledge and power beyond our understanding. Many have sought it, but few have even come close to finding it. Jack's heart raced with excitement. The grimoire describes a series of symbols and rituals connected to the heart. I believe these symbols might lead me to its location. Do you know where I might find them in Soul City? Agnes nodded, her eyes sparkling with approval. You are on the right path, Jack. The symbols you seek are part of the ancient wards that protect Soul City. They are hidden in places of great spiritual significance. The oldest temple, the council hall, and the ancient library are all places where you might find these symbols. With Agnes's guidance, Jack set out to explore these significant locations. His first stop was the oldest temple in Soul City, a grand structure built from luminescent stone that seemed to pulse with energy. The temple was a place of reverence, where spirits came to seek guidance and solace. As Jack entered the temple, he felt a wave of spiritual energy wash over him. The air was thick with the presence of ancient spirits, their whispers echoing through the halls. Jack walked slowly, his eyes scanning the walls for any sign of the symbols he sought. After hours of searching, Jack found himself in a secluded chamber deep within the temple. The walls were covered in intricate carvings, and in the center of the room stood a large, ornate altar. Jack's eyes widened as he recognized the symbols from the grimoire etched into the stone. These are the symbols, Jack whispered, his voice filled with awe. I'm on the right track. Jack carefully sketched the symbols, ensuring he captured every detail. He felt a growing sense of anticipation as he realized he was getting closer to uncovering the secrets of the Heart of Eternity. His next stop was the Council Hall, a majestic building where the Reapers held their meetings. The hall was a place of power and authority, its walls adorned with the history of the Reapers. Jack entered the hall with a sense of reverence, knowing that this place held many secrets. As he explored the hall, Jack's eyes were drawn to a series of murals depicting the early days of Soul City. The murals showed the Reapers performing rituals and wielding powerful artifacts. Among the images, Jack spotted the same symbols from the grimoire. Here too, Jack said, feeling a thrill of discovery. These symbols are part of our history. Jack carefully copied the symbols, feeling a sense of connection to the ancient Reapers who had come before him. He knew that he was following in their footsteps, uncovering the knowledge that had been lost to time. Jack's final destination was the ancient library, a vast repository of knowledge containing texts and records from throughout the ages. The library was a place of quiet contemplation, its shelves filled with books that seemed to whisper secrets as Jack passed by. He spent hours searching through the library, examining old tomes and scrolls. His efforts were rewarded when he discovered a hidden alcove behind a row of books. Inside, he found a collection of manuscripts covered in the same symbols from the grimoire. This is it, Jack said, his voice trembling with excitement. The final piece of the puzzle. As Jack studied the manuscripts, he began to see a pattern. The symbols formed a map, leading to a specific location within Soul City. Jack's heart raced as he realized that he was on the verge of discovering the Heart of Eternity. With the clues he had gathered, Jack pieced together the map and identified the location of the heart. It was hidden in a secluded part of Soul City, a place that had been forgotten by time. Jack knew that this discovery would change everything, providing answers to the mysteries that had eluded him for so long. Jack Harper stood in the grand hall of the Reaper's headquarters, his heart filled with a mix of anticipation and reverence. The hall was an architectural marvel, its high ceilings adorned with intricate carvings that told the story of the Reapers throughout the ages. The walls glowed softly with an ethereal light, casting an otherworldly ambiance over the room. In the center stood Thanatos, his dark robes flowing around him like shadows. Jack, Thanatos began, his deep voice echoing through the hall, you have proven yourself as a Soul Reaper, but to truly understand and fulfill your role, you must learn the Soul Reaper's Code. These are the principles that guide our actions and ensure the balance of the afterlife. Jack listened intently, his eyes fixed on Thanatos. He had heard of the code in passing, but this was the first time he would learn its intricacies and implications. Thanatos's presence commanded respect, and Jack felt a deep sense of responsibility as he prepared to absorb this crucial knowledge. Thanatos gestured for Jack to follow him to a smaller, more intimate chamber off the main hall. This room, known as the Chamber of Wisdom, was lined with shelves of ancient tomes and scrolls, their spines worn from centuries of use. A large, round table sat in the center, and upon it lay a thick, leather-bound book embossed with golden runes. This, Thanatos said, placing a hand on the book, is the Codex of the Reapers. It contains the rules and teachings that have been passed down through the generations. We will start with the law of equilibrium. The law of equilibrium, Thanatos explained, was the fundamental principle that Reapers must always strive to maintain the balance between the realms of the living and the dead. This meant ensuring that souls were guided to their rightful place, be it transcendence to a higher realm or reincarnation back into the cycle of life. Equilibrium is the cornerstone of our duty, Thanatos said. Without it, the balance of the afterlife would be disrupted, leading to chaos and suffering. As Reapers, it is our responsibility to guide souls with fairness and impartiality. Jack nodded, understanding the weight of this responsibility. He had already experienced the importance of balance during his missions, but hearing it framed as a core principle reinforced its significance. Next, Thanatos spoke of the principle of non-interference. This rule dictated that Reapers must not interfere with the natural order of life and death. While they could guide and assist souls, they were forbidden from altering the course of events in the living world or preventing a natural death. We are guardians, not meddlers, Thanatos said firmly. Our role is to assist souls in their journey, not to change the fate of the living. Interference can disrupt the balance and cause unforeseen consequences. Jack thought back to his encounters with the living during his live streams and understood the importance of this principle. While it was tempting to intervene in the lives of his viewers, he realized that doing so could create more harm than good. The third principle was the code of compassion. Reapers were expected to approach their duties with empathy and understanding, recognizing the pain and confusion that often accompany death. This meant listening to the stories of the souls they encountered and offering comfort and guidance without judgment. Compassion is at the heart of our role, Thanatos emphasized. We must remember that every soul has a story, and it is our duty to listen and provide the support they need to find peace. Jack felt a deep resonance with this principle. His journey as a Reaper had already shown him the importance of empathy and understanding. He remembered the countless souls he had helped, each one with a unique story and a need for compassion. Thanatos then opened the Codex of the Reapers, revealing pages filled with ancient script and detailed illustrations. He pointed to a passage that described the importance of self-reflection and inner balance. Reapers were encouraged to regularly reflect on their actions and maintain their own spiritual well-being to effectively fulfill their duties. Even the most dedicated Reapers need to take care of themselves, Thanatos said. It is important to find time for reflection and healing, to ensure that you can continue to serve with clarity and strength. Jack nodded, absorbing the wisdom of the code. He realized that being a Reaper was not just about guiding souls and maintaining balance, but also about personal growth and self-awareness. The principles of the Soul Reaper's Code were interconnected, each one reinforcing the others to create a comprehensive framework for their duties. Thanatos closed the codex and looked at Jack with a sense of pride. You have shown great potential, Jack. By understanding and embracing the Soul Reaper's Code, you will become a true guardian of the afterlife. Remember these principles, and let them guide you in all your actions. Jack felt a profound sense of gratitude and determination. He thanked Thanatos for his guidance and promised to uphold the principles of the code in all his future endeavors. With the knowledge of the Soul Reaper's Code firmly in his mind, Jack left the Chamber of Wisdom and stepped out into the twilight of Soul City. The principles he had learned resonated deeply within him, and he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that his role as a Reaper was more than just a job. It was a calling, a commitment to maintaining balance, offering compassion, and ensuring the harmony of the afterlife. With the rules of the Soul Reaper's Code now deeply ingrained in his mind, Jack Harper felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The principles he had learned from Thanatos were not just abstract ideas, they were the foundation upon which he would build his future as a Soul Reaper. However, understanding the rules was only the first step. To truly fulfill his role, Jack needed to grasp the full scope of his responsibilities and the practical aspects of his duties. The day after his meeting with Thanatos, Jack made his way to the Reaper's Library, a vast and ancient repository of knowledge. The library was a place of quiet contemplation, its shelves filled with countless texts that chronicled the history, wisdom, and experiences of the Reapers who had come before him. Jack knew that the answers he sought would be found within these hallowed walls. As Jack entered the library, he was greeted by an elderly librarian, her spectral form radiating a warm, gentle light. She introduced herself as Alara and guided Jack to a secluded reading nook where he could study in peace. You will find much wisdom in these texts, Alara said, her voice soft and reassuring. Take your time and absorb the knowledge that has been passed down through the ages. Jack thanked Alara and settled into the nook, surrounded by stacks of ancient books and scrolls. He began by delving into the Chronicle of Reapers, a leather-bound tome that contained detailed accounts of past Reapers' missions and the challenges they had faced. The first story that caught Jack's attention was that of Serafina, a legendary Reaper known for her dedication to maintaining the protective wards around volatile areas of the afterlife. Serafina's account detailed the painstaking process of renewing the wards, using complex rituals and symbols to reinforce the barriers that kept malevolent spirits at bay. Maintaining the wards is a crucial responsibility, Jack thought as he read. It requires constant vigilance and a deep understanding of the spiritual energies that flow through the afterlife. Jack realized that this aspect of his duties would require both skill and dedication. He made a mental note to practice the rituals and symbols described in Serafina's account, knowing that the integrity of Soul City's defenses depended on his efforts. Next, Jack turned to a section of the chronicle that focused on conflict resolution. In the afterlife, conflicts could arise between souls with unresolved issues or competing desires. Reapers acted as mediators, using their empathy and wisdom to help spirits find common ground and resolve their differences peacefully. One account detailed the story of Marcus, a Reaper who had successfully mediated a dispute between two powerful spirits vying for control over a sacred site. Through patience, understanding, and careful negotiation, Marcus had helped the spirits see the value of cooperation and mutual respect. Conflict resolution is another important aspect of our role, Jack realized. We must be able to navigate the complexities of the afterlife and help spirits find harmony. Jack knew that this responsibility would require him to hone his communication skills and develop a deep sense of empathy. He resolved to study Marcus's techniques and learn from his experiences, understanding that the ability to mediate conflicts would be essential to maintaining peace in Soul City. As Jack continued to explore the chronicle, he came across accounts of Reapers who had undertaken missions to guide souls trapped in the darkest corners of the afterlife. These missions often involved navigating treacherous landscapes and confronting powerful malevolent entities. The stories were filled with danger and uncertainty, but they also highlighted the courage and determination of the Reapers who had undertaken them. One particularly harrowing account described the journey of a Reaper named Alara, the same name as the librarian, though Jack wasn't sure if they were the same spirit. She had ventured into a region known as the Abyssal Rift, a place of intense darkness and malevolent energy. Alara's mission was to rescue a group of souls trapped by a powerful wraith. Despite the overwhelming danger, Alara had faced the wraith with unwavering resolve, using her scythe and her knowledge of ancient rituals to banish the entity and free the trapped souls. Jack felt a surge of admiration for Alara's bravery. These missions are not for the faint of heart, he thought. But they are necessary to bring peace and balance to the afterlife. Jack knew that he would need to prepare himself for such missions, both physically and mentally. He resolved to continue training with his scythe and to deepen his understanding of the rituals and symbols that would help him navigate the darker regions of the afterlife. As Jack read on, he also discovered accounts of Reapers who had taken on the role of mentors and teachers, guiding new Reapers and sharing their wisdom. These Reapers had dedicated themselves to ensuring that the knowledge and skills of the Soul Reapers were passed down through the generations. One account detailed the mentorship of a Reaper named Lyra, who had taken a young and inexperienced Reaper under her wing. Through patient guidance and practical training, Lyra had helped her protege develop the skills and confidence needed to fulfill their duties. The bond between mentor and mentee had strengthened both of them, creating a legacy of knowledge and support. Jack realized that this was another important aspect of being a Reaper. Mentorship and teaching are vital to our continued success, he thought. We must ensure that future generations are equipped to carry on our work.